Hello, peoples of the Instagram. I am so excited. Do you know why? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because our watercolors are ready for action. Now, I have been dying to do this activity for years. I never had the time. Now I do. I created it. It's done. I love it, and I'm dying to share it with you. This is also a great science experiment to explore with your child. Science and art do go hand in hand, and I'm going to show you how. When we start this activity, the first thing that we are going to do is ask our child, what do you think is going to happen when we put this marker that doesn't color anymore in the water? Start to get their brain working and see what they say. That's their hypothesis. Then the actual experiment, we're going to get glass jars, plastic containers, whatever you have, but anything that's see-through. We are going to fill it up with hot water. That is the key. Hot water. Now, I'll give you all our measurements and all small details on our website, so you can totally check that out when we're done this. Once we filled it up with hot water, we're going to take the different colors and put them in the jar. Now, as you can see in the green, I have a bunch of different kinds of greens. I have green markers. I have, oh my God, do you remember these ones? People my age remember these, but do you remember the smelly markers? I still had those kicking around. So I have some of those. I have a Crayola marker, but all different shades of green. Put that in there. In the blues, I have different shades of blue, purples, pinks. Doesn't matter, just as long as they're in, obviously, their proper color container. This is also great for sorting if your little one is smaller and learning their colors as well. I did one just to see how the gray would work. The gray came out beautiful as well. Once you've filled up your containers with hot water, you're going to dump the markers in there and set a date with your kid. So get a piece of paper, scotch tape, masking tape, whatever. Write the date and then write day 1 so that you know right here on day 1 was April 8th. When you finally find that, the color is to where you want it, then you'll see, okay, it took us 4 days to get to the color that we want. Write it down in their little experiment book. I find that the longer I keep the markers in, the darker the pigments get. That's personally me. You may like lighter colors, which is great. That's why you're gonna write the date and figure out kind of what you want. So I have paper, and as you can see here, I experimented with some of our colors that we have. I absolutely love the purple and the pink, but even like the blue, I didn't expect the blue to come out this light. That's also another question you can ask your child. Do you think now, after we've done day 5, we're about to use the watercolors, do you think that it's going to be this dark, this blue? Because when you use acrylic paint, it's actually to its truest form. Watercolor sometimes is deceiving. So again, another question to ask them. Now, once we've done and we've explored with our watercolors and we've done the experiment and then we've actually taken the paint and we've painted it, yeah, sure, we can paint on plain paper and get them to be abstract, beautiful compositions, but we could take it a step further. So obviously you'll need paper, you'll need paintbrushes, water, and an area to work at. You can paint the whole paper. Once you finish painting the whole paper, you could take a hole puncher, you could take a scissors, and have them start cutting some shapes. Again, if your little one is younger, you'll obviously have to supervise, but again, by the age of like 2, you can actually start them on scissors, of course, supervised, and get them to cut some shapes. As they're cutting shapes, fine motor skills, which is great, but then you end up, see, I got these with my small hole puncher, then you can get them to glue on some paper their shapes that they've cut. So it creates like an abstract composition. It gives them some texture, but also multi-medium, right? Like we did some watercolor and now we're doing some cutting and pasting. And then you'll be surprised. You'll end up with like these cute little, and because everything is a beautiful pastel, these cute, really nice, springy art masterpieces. That's something that you could do as well. Also, last thing, because we did base this a lot in science, this was my chart, if you could see. So every day, what you could do is day 1, put your paintbrush in the pink or in whatever color you want, and then you'll paint across, and then you'll write day 1. And then you'll do the same thing day 2, day 3, until it gets progressively darker or to the color that you want. And then you just take your markers out, throw them out because now they're officially dead, and then you can use the rest of the watercolor paint. The amazing thing about this is when I put a lid on this watercolor amount that I've created here, this is good for like weeks. So now not only have we created an abundance of paint for your child, but my favorite thing is we repurposed all those dead markers, which is wonderful. All right, friends, have fun with this, and I promise you, I am going to find a craft with all the lids. Or if you come up with something creative first, let me know, and I'll definitely share it with all our friends, okay? Have fun, be safe, and keep being creative.